We did. I thought we did. Hello. Oh my god. I swore I wasn't doing one of those like, oh, hello there, like cheesy things. We were just figuring something out. We are back in the blue game for the 5th immunity challenge of the day. As always, as we start, the players are doing a little bit of last minute thinking. And once we are ready, I will bring you on over to our host extraordinaire, Kelsey, who will explain the challenge to all of you. Welcome, welcome as you file on in. We are so happy you're here. We are so happy the rain has slightly died down a little bit. Enough to this challenge. All right, so it looks like we have our first players that are getting set. So here to explain the challenge to the viewers is Kelsey.
We're really ready, so how about I come back in like 2 seconds?
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
You ready? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get out of there. Whee! Because Gina will be running.
Oh, we're just starting this challenge. Okay.
Go! Okay, so there is an answer key over here on this board. All they have to do is memorize the answer key. And
All right, so this challenge is taking place in heats. They're 1v1 challenges. So this first challenge, we've got Gina and John facing off against each other. As you can see, they have tons of these pieces, and they are having to match a specific pattern over here on this board. So they are having to come over here and take in this pattern, and then they have to recreate it on their own table. So as we can see, there are 8 pieces, and John only had 1 row of 4, so definitely not the 8. All right, Gina exerting a little frustration as she tries to remember what she saw over there.
that is not correct.
All right, Gina heading back out to take another peek at the symbols that she is trying to recreate here. And here is John's table. So as we can see, a lot more pieces over here on the table than there are in the answer key.
Hello, am I right?
Gina not seeing where she has gone wrong.
No, it's all
And here she is back.
That one.
check.
All right.
That is not correct.
Is it not correct because she has that piece, didn't you? Right, okay. All right, back comes Gina and John. Both are working and fiddling with some pieces. All right, both players still not getting it. Gina now just remixing her pieces. And huge reaction from Gina as she wins that point for her tribe.
Oh my god.
Big celebration on Madamic. All right, so we will now be resetting for the next pair to face off. All right. Let's see. So all right, so we're now resetting the challenge. Our host, Kelsey, is resetting the answer key over here because we don't want any of the players back there to have just memorized what was in front of them as they were looking on. So we'll be changing the answer key for the second pair. And in Kelsey's hand, we can see the idol that they're playing for, Babe the Blue Ox, for the blue game. All right, we'll leave Kelsey and Nina to it. Over here, again, all of the pieces have been placed face down. And just FYI, the players were all told before the challenge began, when the rules were explained, that these pieces with the painted bottoms have to all be facing them. So all the painted bottoms have to be facing in this direction towards us. And so that is part of the technically answer, but they were all told that that was part of the answer. All right. So it looks like Ethan and Joe stepping up. All right, let's step off to the side as they end up going. All right, away go Ethan and Joe, both heading to this table. And they both go back at the exact same time. Here is the answer key. We're gonna get out of the way. Everyone is now flying to get all their puzzle pieces right side up so that they can take a look at all the symbols and try and find the ones that they saw over there. Joe's decided he needs to go back for another look. Ethan now racing over to do the same. Both wanting to take another look at that answer key. Joe calling for check.
That is correct.
Joe like lightning winning that round. All right. Awesome effort by both players. The score is now tied, 1 point versus 1 point. Brandon, what are we playing until? Three. So this is a best of 3 face-off. So we are currently... Sorry, first to 3 face-off. Thank you. Yeah. That is what my brain meant and my mouth did not say. All right. First to 3 points wins it. I almost just derailed that whole challenge. Sorry. All right. So the players are now tied, each looking to score another point here to get closer to that 3 points for the win. And looks like Anthony and Veronica will be facing off. Why don't we start over here this time to give you all a little bit of a different view. Actually, let's just have a dramatic view and we'll watch the players as they race over to this table. Our nurse Mina looking on. All right, here we go. All right, here come Veronica and Anthony, both barely glancing before they run back. Both furiously now tipping over those pieces. All right, Veronica already back for a second look. And running back. Anthony again giving it barely a look before he returns. We made this one extra hard. Ooh. How devious of you. All right, Anthony calling for a check. Veronica not letting that stop her, running back to get another look.
That is correct.
All right. Another big shout of celebration from Madamic as Anthony wins their second point. Again, we are just resetting this challenge before Connor faces off against someone from Ossipee, looking like Louie, stepping up. Oh, Louie deciding to make it a loved ones face-off to up the stakes. Connor could win this right here for Madamic if he scores that third point. Louie looking to tie it up. All right. And we will, a little sportsmanship side hug before we get started. All right. Both players eager to get going.
Ready? Go.
All right, Louie and Connor are off. Connor has elected to take off his shoes, potentially maybe not to slip for the first time in the challenge. All right, both Louie and Connor now back at the table. Flipping over all those pieces on the hunt for what they are looking for. They are looking for those 8 symbols to order properly. Both Louie and Connor super focused. Ooh, Louie almost falls but catches himself and is taking another look at the puzzle, trying to figure out what symbol he might be missing. Meanwhile, Connor maybe yelled for a check but then abandoned the table, going back to take another look.
Oh, I was gonna say they reminded both of them at the same
All
time.
right.
But yes.
All right, Connor now back at the table with Louie taking off again. And Louie back now, switching some things around. Connor yelling check.
Take your time. You got this. He needs to pause. You got this.
Kelsey now checking.
Go, go, go. He just got to.
It'll be
All right.
You got it, dude.
All right. Connor switching things around again and asking for a check and heading back on out. It is still wrong. Louie rearranging some things. And Connor now back again. Getting some encouragement from his tribe mates.
Not correct.
All right, Connor heading back out. Both are taking a lot of looks at that puzzle. Louie switching 2 things and then asking for a check. I'm sorry, Connor was, and now back out he goes.
A little bit of different personality.
Oh my God. You're all right, Connor. Check.
That is not correct.
Check.
Connor wins immunity.
All right.
Congratulations.
And Connor wins it for Madamic.
All right, Madamic, you will attend tribal council shortly.
All right. So, immunity challenge is over, and Red Game will be competing in the same challenge. They are all waiting under the water tent over there. That's our other game players, just hunkering down under a water tent because it's raining. So we will see y'all at Tribal Council. I'm assuming in 30 minutes, because I usually assume 30 minutes. So we will see you guys down there. Yeah, and we will see who the next person voted out of the blue game from the Ossipee tribe is. So see you then.